This is Saints 4 Takeaways, sponsored by American Men Roofing.
There are no hidden positives in the Monday night loss to Baltimore. There's no silver lining in this game. The Ravens beat the Saints. They beat them soundly on both sides of the ball. And what was amazing was that after 3 quarters, the score was just 17-6. To me, it felt like it was 35-3. And the first reason for that, at number 4, the Saints could not run the ball. What we've learned is when the Saints can't run the ball, Andy Dalton and the passing attack are just not good enough to carry this team. They only ran it 15 times in this game for 48 yards, 3.2 yards a carry. They got just 2 rushing first downs. All of those are season lows. Or, to put the rushing numbers a different way, when the Saints have run for 120 yards in a game, they're 3-1. When they don't do it, they are now 0-5. If this Saints team can't run the ball, they lose, period. And that fourth quarter touchdown drive after the game was decided did skew some of the stats, but in the first 3 quarters, the Saints were 1 for 8 on third down. Flip that around. The Ravens were 7 of 10 on third down in the first 3 quarters. Why? At number 3, Lamar Jackson made play after play to frustrate the Saints. Now, I mentioned how the fourth quarter skewed those stats. Lamar Jackson's quarterback rating for this game was only slightly better than Andy Dalton's, but it felt like Dalton couldn't do anything right and Jackson couldn't do anything wrong. With Lamar Jackson keeping the Saints defense off balance, the Ravens ran for 188 yards, 4.7 yards a rush. Because the Ravens could run the ball and the Saints couldn't, Baltimore controlled the ball for 63% of the game, which is why the score felt so much more lopsided than it was after 3 quarters. Which brings us to number 2. The frustrated fan base is losing patience with first-year coach Dennis Allen because this loss didn't feel like the others. Against the Bucks, the Panthers, and the Cardinals, the Saints felt like the better team. They were minus 10 in turnovers in these 3 games. All those losses, but they did a lot of good things in those losses. And against the Bengals and Vikings, those are 2 playoff teams. The Saints were in the games. Joe Burrow and Kirk Cousins just made fourth quarter plays to beat them. Those were 2 close games that could have gone either way. This game was the first in which the Saints just got beaten badly in all 3 phases. And I know people don't want to hear this, but at number 1, the path still exists. And yes, I am talking about playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
No, 2001 Jim Mora. I'm actually not kidding. And look, as long as the playoffs are a possibility, I'm going to keep talking about it. And the train wreck known as the NFC South is winnable. I think 9-8 wins this division, maybe even 8-9. These are the Saints' last 8 opponents. To get to 9 wins, the Saints will have to win 6 of those 8. Now, I do think these 2 at the top, San Francisco and Philadelphia, both on the road, are extremely difficult. So you have to win all 6 of these to get to 9 wins, and all 6 of those teams have losing records. I think the season is absolutely on the line Sunday in Pittsburgh. Lose and it's over. Win and there is still life, despite getting hammered Monday night against the Ravens.